Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to your yoga workout for the day. This is called Full Body Essentials. So we're going to be going through full body movements to strengthen and improve mobility from your ankles all the way up to your head. Let's get started. We're going to start on the ground, working with getting your core and your spine warm. So we're going to start with just hands to thighs, and if you have a block, put a block between your legs and squeeze that block tight. So squeezing tightly, particularly in the upper thigh areas, and then press your hands into your thighs. Resist with your thighs. So hands push into thighs, thighs are pushing into your hands, thighs are squeezing into one another, so squeezing that block. And then belly button drives down toward the lower back to engage your abs. So we're turning on your hip flexors, we're turning on your inner thighs, turning on your abdominal muscles. And you can relax your head onto the ground. Just push here for about 10 more seconds, just getting all of this warm. Push as hard as you can. Just 10 seconds, push hard. Just about 5 seconds left. 5, 4, squeeze. 3, 2, 1, and then release. Nice. All right, move that block out of the way. And we're going to go into some recline twists now. So working on opening up your spine and also strengthening the core. Arms can come straight out to the sides. As you inhale, bring your legs out to the side. As you exhale, squeeze your abs and bring your knees back to the middle. Out to the left. Exhale, back to the middle. And then just keep this up on your own pace. We're going to go 5 to each side. Try to keep both shoulders down as you're doing this. So make sure that you're not lifting the shoulders away from the ground like this, but keeping the shoulders pressing down. And that's going to help with your spinal range of motion, your spinal mobility. And then make sure you're matching the inhale with the proper movement. So inhaling out, and then exhale to squeeze your abs and bring your legs back to the middle. Again, inhale out. Exhaling to squeeze back. So not really using your legs to bring your legs back into the middle, but using your core strength. That's the goal here. One more to each side. Inhaling out. Exhaling to the middle. Keep your shoulders relaxed on the ground. Last one. And then exhaling back to the middle. Nice. Grab your knees. Pull your knees toward your shoulders. Press your lower back toward the ground. Press your belly button toward the ground. And we're going to do a couple reverse crunches here. So from here, keep your legs just like they are. Keep your lower back pressing down, your abs tight. And then bring your arms out to the sides. Take an inhale. And then exhale, press your legs out. Squeeze your legs together. Inner thighs squeeze together. Maybe the legs come up high if that hurts your back a little bit. And then squeeze your legs back in. Inhale out. Exhale to squeeze, pressing your legs forward. If you need to, bring your legs up a little bit higher or bend the knees a little bit to help if you can't quite go legs out all the way. And then bring the legs back in. One more. Inhale out. Squeeze your legs together so inner thighs are engaged, toes reach back toward your shins, heels drive forward, legs are locked out, abs are tight. Maybe going a little bit lower to challenge yourself. And then bring the legs back in. Grab your knees and just kind of roll from side to side. Give your back a little break. All right, next exercise is bridge. So plant your feet about hip width distant. If you have that block, put the block between your thighs and clamp it tightly between your upper thighs. Squeeze the hips together, squeeze your abs, arms along your sides. Press down through your feet and lift your hips. Reach your tailbone toward your knees, so a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Abs are tight. Hips come up just a little bit, but make sure you're not splaying open the chest, so drawing the ribs in. So we're working on strengthening the hips here. We're strengthening the core, strengthening your lower body, even opening up through your spine. Shoulders are relaxed. Weight is in the shoulders, in the upper body, not on your neck. Make sure you're feeling this in your core as opposed to your spine. You should feel this more in the core, not as much in the back. And then go ahead and release down. Bring the hips down. take the block out, and flip over into a child's pose. So we just did a big back bend, and we're going to stretch that out, or stretch out your spine after that. So knees come wide, tops of your ankles relax toward the ground, chest pulls forward, walk your arms out in front of you, about shoulder width distant. Release your forehead onto the ground, and then take some deep breaths in and out of the nose. Your goal here is to get your back as flat as possible. So if you feel like your back is rounding like this, think of lengthening the front side of your body. So from your pubic bone all the way up to your sternum, lengthen. And then tighten the abs. Tighten your glutes even. Squeeze your arms toward one another. So this can be a resting pose, but it's also pretty active if you want it to be. So arms squeeze toward one another. Abs are active, tightening your abs. Still able to breathe though. And then lightly pressing the hips back to stretch your lower back. Maybe you're feeling some stretching through the upper and the middle back too, and that's fine. All right, move up into a tabletop position. And from here, we're going to do some cat-cow. So a great spinal mobility exercise. Knees are about hip width distant, and squeeze your thighs toward one another. Hands about shoulder width distant, directly under your shoulders. Biceps wrapping forward. Weight pressing down into the ball mounds of your fingers. So not dumping the weight into your wrist, but spreading it out through your whole hand. Inhale to arch your back, so pulling your chest forward. Pointing the sternum at the wall in front of you. Lifting your neck, making your neck long. And then exhaling to round, pressing your middle of your back toward the ceiling, bringing your head toward your hips, pressing down through the hands and rounding your back. Inhale to arch. And you want to make this as long as possible with the inhale, and then exhale to round. Tightening through the abs, bringing your head toward your hips, pushing your back up. 4 more. And you can do these on your own pace. It shouldn't hurt. You should be going through a comfortable range of motion. And the cool thing about this exercise is that as you do it, your spine opens up more and more. So notice I'm now looking up at the ceiling instead of just forward. Make sure you're keeping length in your neck though. You don't want to feel like you're compressing the neck. So think of pushing your head away from your shoulders, lengthening the area from your upper back to your neck. And that's going to help you improve your posture in addition to spinal mobility. Let's do one more here. Pulling the chest forward, lifting your chest up, lifting your tailbone up, arching the back, and then exhaling to round, keeping the core tight to protect your spine. All right, and then go ahead and release. And here, we're going to move up into a mountain pose. So get your block again. We're going to put the block between the thighs, feet about 6 inches apart. Press down hard through your feet, so stand up nice and tall. And then make sure that your hips are level. So here, I want you to make sure that you're not doing anything like this. So we're not reaching the butt out behind you, but rather we're reaching the tailbone down and then squeezing the block between your thighs to help keep your hips neutral. We want neutral alignment here, not rounding like this and not arching, but right in the middle. So the hips engage, squeezing your legs toward one another, lightly tightening your glutes. So just squeezing your hips just a little bit to press your hips forward. And you want your heels right under your hips. So you're not leaning forward, the weight isn't in your toes. It's more toward the heels, right above your heels. Push down through your feet. Stand up as tall as you possibly can, and then turn your palms forward. So the shoulders pull up, back, and then down, and that's going to put your shoulders in the right position. So this is proper posture. And then the final touch is pressing your head toward the ceiling, almost like you're lifting your head away from your shoulders, and then relax your chin toward your throat, and then pull your neck back. And this is your mountain pose. Breathing deeply in and out of the nose, maintaining that light engagement through your whole body. So pushing down through the feet, squeezing the thighs toward one another, tightening your glutes lightly, lifting your ribs up, keeping the abs lightly engaged, the shoulders drawn down and back, and the palms facing forward. And lastly, head pressing up, chest or the back of the head pulling back, and chin relaxed toward the throat. Nice. All right, go ahead and relax. And then from there, we're going to move into a standing side and back bend. So you can even keep the block in your thighs for this. Bring your arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers, point your index fingers, and then lean toward the right. Breathing in and out of your nose, lifting your chest, pushing the top of your head toward the ceiling, and then leaning lightly toward the right. Try pressing your hands together to engage your upper body a little bit more. And again, stay as tall as you can here. Squeezing the legs together, pushing your head up, and then bring it back to the middle. Breathe in once more, get tall, and then over to the left. Push your palms together, roll back the right shoulder, lift your chest, get as tall as you can. So really push down through the feet. Make sure you're using both legs, so not putting all the weight in your right leg or your left leg, but pushing down through both feet. Squeeze the hips together, so you're keeping that inner thigh engagement, which facilitates better core engagement, and then staying nice and tall. Reach your arms back just a little bit more, deep in the stretch, and then come back to the middle. Last one, standing back bend. So press your arms up, work on lifting your sternum toward the ceiling. Keep your hips neutral. So if you look at me from the side, I'm not letting my back go out like this. I'm still keeping the tailbone reaching down, still keeping the hips engaged. Point your sternum toward the ceiling. Lift your head away from your shoulders. So get even taller, and then reach your arms up high. Every time you inhale, get a little bit taller. Every time you exhale, lean back just a tiny bit. So it's like you're trying to get up and over something, not just leaning back, but getting taller and then leaning back and going a little bit deeper. Make sure your neck is nice and long. Your head is pulled away from the shoulders. Just 10 more seconds here. Keep pushing down through the feet. Keep both hips active. Keep your abs active. One more breath. And then release. All right, so you should feel a lot of core engagement, a lot of back engagement, a lot of upper head and neck engagement, or the upper neck and the head engagement. All right, moving on. We're going to go to a squat hold from here. So if you want, you can even keep the block between your thighs or take it out. And this just helps with better core engagement. So feet are about 6 inches apart. Bend the knees just a little bit, push your butt way back, and bring your arms out in front of you. Squeeze your hips toward one another, press down through the feet, get the weight into your hips, and even bring your hands to your thighs, and then push your chest away from the thighs to lengthen through the front side of your body, and that will help you engage your core. Bring your arms out in front of you, and just take 2 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale to sit deeper. Inhale. Exhale, sit a little bit deeper. And then go ahead and take a forward fold from here. So bend the knees, keep them bent. Bring your hands to the ground. Keep your abs tight. Squeeze the block between your thighs. If you need to, get another block, or just take the one that you have out between your thighs and put that toward the ground. But keep the thighs squeezing toward one another. That's why the block is really useful. It helps you engage your inner thighs. And take that forward fold. So getting a stretch through the backs of your legs, through your spine, tucking the chin to stretch your neck. And then pull to a half lift. So pulling your chest forward. Keep your hips above your ankles. Try to make your upper body parallel to the ground. So almost like you're arching your back. Keep your abs tight. Press the top of your head forward. You shouldn't fall over forward though. You should still be able to maintain this position without falling over. And that's where the core engagement is going to come in. And then fold back down, release. Tightening the abs, squeezing the thighs toward one another, stretching the back of your body. One more half lift. Pull forward. Almost like you're getting your sternum to look forward, pressing the top of your head away from your body, and then fold down. Nice. All right, and then from here, go ahead and sit down, and we're going to stand all the way back up. All right, Moving to a runner's lunge from here. So feet are about, let's say, 6 inches apart. Keep a block between your thighs, or between your feet. And then take a big step back with your left foot into the runner's lunge. Squeeze your legs toward one another. Push your right hip toward the ground. And if you feel like you don't need the blocks, or maybe you want 2 blocks, you can do this. So a block on either side of your front foot. Or just lift your hands away from the blocks and then just support yourself with your core strength and your lower body strength. One more breath here. And then release that knee down. Untuck the back foot. Keep your hips exactly the same and lift your arms up into a low lunge. So now getting a deeper stretch through the left hip. Still strengthening the right leg, still strengthening both hips, still squeezing the legs toward one another. But now just getting a nice stretch through the front of the left hip, maybe a little deeper stretch than before. Keep lifting your chest up, maybe even thinking a tiny bit of a back bend here. One more deep breath. And then release. All right, switching sides. If you want, you can step back up all the way to that standing position you were in before, and then switch sides. Step your right leg to the back, block on either side of the front foot, or if you just got one, just inside the front foot. Squeeze your legs toward one another. Pull your chest forward. So again, that squeezing of the legs toward one another, very important. Make sure you're doing it. Pull the chest forward. Squeeze your right thigh, so make sure that your right knee isn't sinking toward the ground, but keeping that leg lifted. And then lift your chest away from the ground, maybe bringing your hands away from the blocks. So just using your just using your lower body and your core to support yourself. And then one more breath here. And then release that knee down. Untuck the back foot. Lift your arms into a low lunge or a kneeling lunge. Legs still squeezed toward one another. Ribs lifting away from your hips to deepen that stretch through the right hip flexor, the front of the right hip. And the arms are up. Maybe a little bit of a back bend to help open your chest even more to get a deeper stretch. One more big breath here. And then release. All right, from here we're going to move into a plank. So take the blocks out, hands under your shoulders, biceps wrap toward the front, tuck your toes, lift the knees. Try to make a straight line from your heels to the top of your head. Really push down hard through your hands and tighten your abs. To make this a little more difficult and a little more effective, squeeze your legs toward one another and squeeze your hands and your feet toward one another. Pull the chest forward, press down through your hands, lift your belly button. 10 seconds here. Just like the cat-cow we did at the beginning, make sure the weight is in the ball mounds of your fingers. So evenly distributed throughout your whole hand, not just pressing down through the wrist. That's going to help you get better forearm engagement and also protect your wrist. All right, go ahead and lower slowly all the way to the ground. Keep your elbows in tight. And then into a cobra. Reach your legs back. Point the toes. Squeeze your thighs toward one another, your ankles, your hips. Tighten your abs. And then lift your chest away from the ground, just using your core and your lower body strength. So really squeeze the hips together. Push hard. Tighten your abs. Pull the chest forward. Get length. Squeeze your elbows back. Lift the chest. One more breath. And release down. All right. Moving into a down dog. So hands just like we had them for the plank. Lift your knees. Bend the knees. And then push your hips up and back. Try to make a V shape with your body. Lift your tailbone toward the ceiling. So you're trying to arch your back here. And then squeeze the legs toward one another. Press down firmly through your hands. Press your thighs away from your shoulders. And you might need a mirror to see what you look like in this. And that's fine. I recommend using a mirror and kind of seeing where you are with your body. So really get your hips up. Try to press your thighs away from your shoulders. Press down hard through your hands. Squeeze your shoulders toward one another. Let's do one more breath here. You should feel a stretch through your calves, your hamstrings, your back. Make sure your abs are tight. And then go ahead and step up to a deep squat. So come up about halfway up the mat, feet about shoulder width, point your toes slightly out, squeeze your thighs toward one another, tighten your glutes, pull your chest forward, and then sit your hips down toward the ground into a deep squat. Hips are toward the back, so push your butt out behind you. Lift your chest away from the ground if you can. It's fine if you're leaning forward. But if you can, try to lift your chest away from the ground. Still squeezing your hips toward one another, so getting your glutes engaged, almost like you're squeezing a penny between your butt. Squeezing your knees out, keeping the chest up to tighten your core. Lift up a little bit more. See if you can get that butt back a little bit more. Squeeze your knees out. And then stand up all the way. Nice job. All right, mountain pose. We're going to finish off with a mountain pose. So toes touch, heels an inch apart, standing up nice and tall. Press down through your feet. Squeeze the hips toward one another, so thighs engage, ribs lift up away from the hips. Make sure you have that neutral hip positioning, so the tailbone reaches down. Your spine is neutral. Palms face forward. Shoulders are up, back, and down. And just take 3 deep breaths here. Exhaling to relax your shoulders. Stand up as tall as you can. Relaxing the shoulders a little more with every exhale. Light engagement through your whole body. All right. And then release. All right, guys, nice job. That was the Full Body Essentials workout. Thanks for joining me today. If you're already a member of the members area and you're watching this workout from either one of the workout programs or the video library, thank you for being part of the members area. And if you're not already, you can get access to this workout and hundreds more with a 7-day trial for just $1 at manflowyoga.com. Thanks for joining me for today's workout. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. All right, if you enjoyed that video, I want to invite you to take my free 7-day challenge. This is a beginner's yoga for men workout series featuring 15-minute workouts and daily emails to help hold you accountable and motivated. This is a great way to learn yoga, to get started, and it's totally free. Sign up at the first link in the description below. When you sign up, I'm also going to give you a free bonus video, a previously members-only workout called Head and Neck Essentials. This is a 25-minute workout that's perfect for relieving tension in your head, neck, and shoulders, useful for pretty much any situation. So go ahead and sign up for that 7-day challenge. Do it right now. Click that link in the description. I'll wait. And if you haven't already subscribed to this YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe. We put out new videos every week. And if you like the video, be sure to like the video, click the like button, and leave a comment if you have any feedback or questions. Thanks again for being here. I'll see you on the next video.